the waning hours of Thanksgiving Eve, 1971, a Boeing 727 leaves Portland bound for Seattle. This plane and its passengers will become the most infamous skyjacking in American history.
You guys, check out this map. It looks like Billy left us a treasure map.
Look at that.
Not only that,
This map looks new.
he plotted out the whole trip. Billy thought DB landed right here. There's no way he did this as a kid. He must have been adding to the box. Over the years, this is the camping trip he wanted us to take last summer.
I couldn't go. I was detained in Mexico.
And he wouldn't do it unless we were all together.
I swear to God, I think he figured it out. I mean, look at all this research. He reconstructed the jump. He pinpointed DB's landing.
The man you see pictured here is named Dan Cooper. According to Wikipedia, the media messed up and started calling him DB Cooper instead. He boarded a Boeing 727 on Thanksgiving in 1971, and his life has been a mystery since. DB Cooper hijacked a Boeing 727. He sat down in his seat, then gave a handwritten note to the stewardess. Alex Hannaford of The Telegraph said the note read, "I have a bomb in my briefcase. I will use it if necessary. I want you to sit next to me. You are being hijacked." Cooper then showed her the briefcase. She was recorded saying that, "I saw red wires and what looked like a bomb." ABC News stated that Cooper demanded 4 parachutes and $200,000. The pilot then contacted the FBI, who started gathering the money. The plane landed and Cooper let the passengers off, took the money and the parachutes, and told the pilot to fly to Mexico. The pilot told Cooper they would have to stop in Reno to fill up on gas. Cooper agreed, knowing he would never make it to Reno. An article on the Altered Dimensions website states Cooper gave the pilot strict instructions. He told the pilot to fly lower than 10,000 feet, slower than 200 miles an hour, and with the landing gear down. Cooper then opened the stairs that led out of the back of the plane. He jumped into the dark, stormy night, falling into the untouched wilderness. Cooper was never seen again. There have been many theories and suspects. The Reno Gazette-Journal notes that one claims DB Cooper was the Zodiac Killer because of the letters sent by DB. I believe none of this to be true, though. Joe Weber wrote on her personal website that the FBI has followed more than 1,400 leads. Weber also provided me with a list of suspects. I have narrowed my search down to 2. Lynn Doyle Cooper and Kenny Christensen.
After 40 years and over 1,000 leads, news came that the FBI now says they have a credible lead in this case. According to an FBI spokesman, its most promising lead.
I'm certain he was my uncle, Lynn Doyle Cooper.
This woman has reignited the investigation into the only unsolved hijacking in U.S. history. Her name is Marla Cooper, and she says her uncle is the infamous hijacker, D.B. Cooper.
This is not an alias.
No.
You believe that your uncle was D.B. Cooper.
Yes, I do.
This woman named Marla Cooper told ABC that her uncle, Lynn Doyle Cooper, was a Korean War veteran. She recalls one Thanksgiving where her 2 uncles, who she only saw at holiday time, were planning something very mischievous. They were using some very expensive walkie-talkies, she was recorded saying. They then left that night to go turkey hunting. What's interesting is what happened the next morning. The next day, D.B. Cooper hijacked the plane. Her 2 uncles came back with no turkey. However, something was off. Her uncle, L.D., was wearing a bloodied t-shirt and was a mess. Marla, being only 8 years old at the time, was horrified and began to cry. Her other uncle, who was with L.D., told her to shut up and go get your dad. Marla told Carol Craddy of CNN News she heard L.D. talking about money that day. She heard her uncle say, "We did it. Our money problems are over. We hijacked an airplane." After that Thanksgiving, she never saw Uncle L.D. again.
Marla Cooper says she now remembers a conversation with her father before he died in 1995 that she didn't fully understand at the time.
My father made a comment about his long-lost brother, my uncle L.D., and said that he thought he was still alive but hiding from the FBI. And I questioned why he would be hiding. He said, "Don't you remember he hijacked that airplane?" A couple of years ago, my mother made another comment, a similar comment.
Why have you decided to come forward?
Actually, I contacted the FBI as soon as I was sure that what I was remembering were real memories. There's a crime that's taken place that hasn't been solved, and I'm the only person, as far as I know, who knows what happened.
Marla was 8 at the
Now for the other suspect, Kenny Christensen. John Telvin of the Star Tribune notes that Lyle Christensen said when his brother Kenny was dying, Kenny told Lyle, "There's something important you should know, but I cannot tell you." Christensen is a very interesting suspect. For starters, Robert Blevins wrote on the Newsvine website that Kenny actually worked for the airline that got hijacked. He more importantly notes that Christensen was annoyed with the company. Christensen was an Army paratrooper. This would mean he knows how to skydive. Christensen actually looks a lot like the man described by eyewitnesses. The only main difference is the hair and the weight of the individuals. However, Brad Meltzer, host of the show Decoded and author of the book History Decoded, reported that Christensen wore a toupee, but after the hijacking, he never wore it again. Brad Meltzer and his team of investigators did a lot of work on this case. While searching Christensen's old house, they found a spot in the ceiling just above Kenny's room that had a little hiding spot. Blevins also noted in a different article that when construction was going on at Christensen's old property, they stumbled upon a bag of $20 bills. Is it just a coincidence that DB asked for $20 bills and that's what was found on Christensen's property? Lyle Christensen told Brad that he found a picture of his brother hidden behind another photo in the same frame. This picture is of Kenny Christensen holding the same exact briefcase DB Cooper had and what appears to be a sack full of something. Money, probably. But could one man pull off this feat alone, or was there an accomplice? Many people believe Kenny's good friend Bernie Gessman to be his accomplice. Bernie bought a trailer and used it once to go camping with Christensen. That was the same weekend that the plane was hijacked. After that, he never used it again. While Bernie was being interviewed by Scott Roll, part of Brad Meltzer's team, he had many inconsistencies in his story. He said that he was not friends with Kenny at all, which was found out to be a lie. They were great friends. Bernie also barely spoke during the interview. This leads me to believe that Bernie was actually Kenny's accomplice.
What I love in this chapter is we actually give you an answer. We found a guy, there's a guy named Kenny Christensen, a few years ago dies, he's on his deathbed, tells his brother right before he dies, I have something I'm ashamed to tell you. And the brother doesn't know what it is. And the guy dies. So now the brother starts going through his stuff, and as he's going through his stuff, he's like, oh my gosh, I think my brother's DB Cooper. And he finds his brother was a Northwest Airlines pilot. DB Cooper was on a Northwest Airlines plane. And his brother was fired, so he has an axe to grind. And then his brother is digging ditches for a living. That's what he's doing, making no money. But right after DB Cooper jumps, his brother pays for his house in cash and opens up a bank account with $180,000 in it. So he's either the best ditch digger of all time, right?
The FBI believes no one could have survived the freezing temperatures, but then how come when they found a used parachute, there was no body found? And why was there money found miles away from where the parachute was found? This leaves me with one answer. My final verdict? Maggie Patrick of ABC News found that Lynn Doyle Cooper's fingerprints didn't match the ones the FBI found on the plane ticket. This leaves me with a tremendous amount of evidence that Kenny Christensen was in fact the infamous DB Cooper.